Good evening, folks. Wow, and welcome back to Biblical Britain. Had a crazy couple of days, as always, and I found, well, I've been given some absolutely incredible confirmation beyond belief, actually. And the last one, this point on this particular code, only highlighted just sort of, well, I finished this off about half an hour ago, I suspect. But let me just tell you what is this all about? It's about, right, it's about the lost tribe, or the very lost tribe of Joseph in the Bible. Obviously, we've all been led to believe this is to do with the Middle East. The Bible's full of code, absolutely, and I don't mean the New Testament, I mean the Old Testament, the real truth. And this, obviously, this whole thing is done, and I'm all over this code. If you've been watching it, you'll see, and if you're new to it, it's probably worth going back just to see that this is no coincidence, and these things really have been put there for this time. And obviously, to give it credibility, I guess you've got, well, by having my name all over it, which it has. Not that I ever looked for it or wanted it, or, well, but obviously I've got to embrace it and, well, see where this goes. But ultimately, there's code, and this could only be put there by the divine source of everything, and that's who it is. Yahweh, his name is. As I'm about to show you, these things are no accident that they're there. And what I've realised as well is that I've been given a lot of, there's hundreds of places probably that I've got decodes for, individual decodes. Like some of these on here already had the code for it. The one that kicked this off is actually Booth Wells. In conversation about the tribe involved with John Griffiths, if you're listening, great chat, mate. And yeah, I think I might be able to answer tell you where the Marco Manoi, I've given it away now, but the Marco Manoi tribe, lost tribe of Joseph, where they fit in all this on the sort of the map of the tribes, or the lost tribes. Okay, so the 13th lost tribe, right? The first thing, obviously, this isn't just random places that I've picked out. These actually line up in a way that just defies logic. There's a few, once I've gone through this, I need to go through, because as you can see, I've put this L in brackets on here because Booth Wells says it Welsh bull, but only with one L. But there's good reason for that, as you'll see, because there's a code that I have to go through to get this L. But when you see it, you'll realise that this is all planned out, and how clever, absolute genius. Right, okay, so firstly the coordinates, I'll tell you what they mean, and then we'll go through, I can read them off as well as I pinpoint them on a map for you. Right, the first one is Caister-on-Sea. Not the first time we've had this one. This one actually links as well with something, I forget the actual code, but it links back to Llanmelin in our tent. Well, this is also in our tent, a Tinton it links with. There's a previous code I did, but obviously it's using it again and going from a different angle. But this time, I think last time it was as a secret, I on a hill fort are in a tent. I can't remember all of it, but that was the message that was in the last code of Caister-on-Sea. As you can see, this one, it's the same place, but you've got to rearrange it, obviously, to make it, to make it sense of it. Well, what it says is, and I've given this away by saying the Marco Manoi, because that is the lost tribe of Joseph. As I, Marco Manoi, a secret on, right. The next place we come to, now what there is, and I'll try and do this. I have to do it sort of sideways on, but what you've got number one here on the east coast. This Caister-on-Sea. Now what we've got is a line that goes all the way to number 6, and I'm that directly. And what you have on there, I've got a picture I can show you in a little bit, is Leinster, which is number number 2. Then you've got Booth Wells, number 3. And then what you've got is a line down there, and you've got a, and there you've got number 4, Clandilos, whatever you pronounce it. And number 6, incredibly, and I couldn't believe this when I got this, because this really sums this up. And it's not coincidence, guys and girls. There's no way on this earth. Right, okay. I think the first thing to note is when it went right. It should be a little bit long. Right, it's difficult to do this. Let me just make this. And this should be further up, really. And I know this sounds bizarre, but this is not a spear. Right, I don't know why I know, but I do. It's just not a spear, it's a coffin. Okay, number 6, number 5 is missing. Okay. And the reason this has been, this tribe, it represents this tribe being buried, and they wouldn't follow and go with, well, I'm guessing, I can only assume from this and what the code says, because there is a place called Dinas Cross, which says San ID Cross. Okay, so not only is it ID in the cross where they got exiled to Germany, because that's where you find the Marco Manni, and they've been wiped out of history. Interestingly enough, just over from San ID Cross, you have a place called Newport. So I think what this is saying is that they did what I did. Well, I gave up everything basically because, well, to follow the right path, and that's how I got here. And this is in West Wales, just so you know. Right by Cardigan, actually, the 2 places is Dinas Cross. It's on the line as well. And just across from, on the other side of the line, is Newport. So I think that was, well, no, I don't think it. I know he's using it. And Dinas Cross, San ID Cross, was my cross coming back from Newport, where I lived, giving up everything to do this, do the right thing. They've obviously done the same thing. I think they wouldn't give in to the cross, you know, Christianity, and they paid the price. Well, say they paid the price for it. They've been exiled from Britain, and that's how they end. This is the story of how they basically end up in Germany. But I shall show you in the most remarkable way how you find this tribe. And right, okay, so we got Castrazzi. As I a secret on. So that's right. So as I a secret on. It's probably the secret of my cross as well, but there we go. Lemster is insert Mo L. Well, this comes from the Man Moyle. And I'll get to that. This is actually the place where I bought my caravan from, and a place that decodes from Ezekiel's wheels, or Ezekiel's wheels, because this is all a code in itself. Okay, so insert Moel. Well, I will show you what the Moel is shortly now, but I've got to go through a little bit of, actually, let's do it. Right, the Moel, basically, right, the 4-faced angel in Ezekiel's wheels is made up. Actually, I can't. I'm going to have to do this separate because there's a little bit extra I need. Right, I'll come to the Moel bit, but you can see how all this connects now. Right, okay. Booth Wells, It Welsh Bull. Again, I'll show you where that L comes from. Clan Idlois is Lew's Clan ID. This double L is, they put churches on places that were named Clan something, like Clan Idlois it would have been, but phonetically it's the same, Clan and Clan. But this is all to do with the church taking over from the tribes, and this is where everything's gone wrong in this world, and religion as well, in general, not good. Okay, but moving on, obviously got, believe it or not, a place in West Wales, just not far from St David's Head, or Divine Identification Head. Square and compass. Well, as you know, this is, well, Freemasonry has got this written all over it, but it's also a code as well because it deciphers the city of the archangels, which is my archangels code, which gives you Jerusalem, and me being the sign you miss the guy. But what it is, basically, you switch these across. So in this case, it would be, well, a square makes angles, and a compass makes arcs. So what you have is archangels, basically. So it's the city of art, represents archangels. Is why you see the G in the G in the square and compass. because the city is what it represents is Jerusalem, the G and Gymru, and the city of and the land and city of archangels. So basically, Wales is the Holy Land. Okay, right. So just quickly, as I a secret on Dempster, insert Moel. That's the secret. Booth Wells, it Welsh Bull. We'll come to the L. Clan ID lose clan ID because they obviously were exiled, so they've lost their ID and they've disappeared. Who's responsible for hiding it? The square and the compass, the Freemasons. And what are they hiding? Basically everything to do with the city of the archangels. But this archangels also connects to Man Moel and the four-faced angel, as I'll explain now. Bit complicated, I know, but bear with me, guys and girls. Okay, so if we lose that little lot, right, how do we get the L? Well, the L for the bull. Right, I've done this code before, but well, worth looking at it again. But like I say, this goes off in different directions actually, but I'll try and stick to the central one that to do with, well, I will, to do with this. Okay, so what we get, and what I got was octagram. Now, what would you think that could ever reveal? Well, it reveals an awful lot. Okay, the code in octagram, which is an octagram is an 8-pointed star, basically, as in the Union Jack, which is why it's the Union Jack. It's all to do with it. And I go as far as to say it's the Star of Bethlehem or the Star of B the male H. Right. Bethlehem is B the male H as well. This is all part of the same code. Right, octagram is unbelievably Marco G at. Okay. So where is Marco G at? Well, he's at G-R-U-S-I-L-U-M. He's at the city of, the decoded city of Jerusalem, the crane, the real Jerusalem. So what we do now is we answer the question and we put Marco G at Jerusalem. Right, then we've got to re-scrabble these words, and this is where you get, again, this is so incredible that this is there. It says, I'm G, comma, Marco G, and here comes the great bit, Taurus L. Right, Taurus. Taurus is the constellation of the bull. The bull is the sign of Joseph, the tribe of Joseph. Okay. Right, so obviously the L as well, it goes in, and there we have Booth Wells being it Welsh bull. So whatever happens, the tribe of Joseph is actually the Welsh bull. And when it says insert Moel, Leinster, that's where we centre them. Centre the sort of tribal area. It's on a border, and there's more to the Marco with that, because the old word for border was to mark a border, and that's why if you do it with a K, and then that tells you to mark the border. And funnily enough, there's a passage in Job, and I can't think exactly what it says, but it's coded, and it says, "Mark yea, O Job," which is yea, mark o job, basically, and to mark the border. And again, it's all connected, and this is all within, and ironically as well, near this line, near 11, not million miles from where this is, there's a place called Even Job B, EVEN. Even Job B, and then there's a place called something, Yavan code or something, but even Job B, but probably to do with the Marco Mano, because it is on the same sort of border. But anyway, right, take that aside. Taurus L. So we know the Taurus is the bull, there's the L, so it's a Welsh bull, it's Taurus, and it is to do with Marco at Jerusalem. Okay, well, a tribe of Joseph. First thing we do is get rid of this deceitful J. There's no J in the Welsh alphabet, so it's a Y. Okay, now what we do as well is we're going to take away the PH and just put an F, because PH is effectively F. Now the first point, as well as putting the L into Booth Wells, it's a Welsh bull, I now drop the L into here. And now I know that Joseph is actually the tribe of myself. Obviously code. Okay, so where is the tribe of Joseph? Well, he's in, well, the place and again, these clues come after I find it. So it's not that I've actually followed a trail to some degree, even though you do sort of, but it gives me the answer, and then I end up finding all the code that backs it up like this now. Okay, so the tribe of yourself. The tribe, right. The first thing is know that it's actually written on a map as Yeoman G. Okay, it's because Yeoman G and the tribe is called the Marco Manoi, the lost tribe of yourself. Okay, Yeoman G is actually Germany, because they're a Germanic tribe. And this is where they were exiled to from effectively the area of Leinster on the border, and this is why as well that they say their name, it obviously indicates that they should be man the border. They can never, well, from what I've read, they can't understand what border, or work out which border it would be, because I don't know whether they're in the middle of land and they've no clue. Well, or so they say. Those that write it maybe not, but those that know. But the border they actually do, and then you've got the Welsh Marches as well, which is a book about the Welsh Marches, and it's to do with the borderland, something to do with the borderlands of Wales. Well, written into the matrix is also the Welsh Marches, because they were marched out of there and exiled H. They were an exiled H. So, you know, and this is how you decode the tribe, the 13th lost tribe of Joseph, or yourself, which is Yeoman G in Germany, is with Marco Manoi. He is the Taurus L, written into the Welsh bull. Not, you know, obviously this is just a way of breaking down all the code and getting to the answer. So from the word octogram, and it gives more than this away as well. There's a lot more to it. But if you go back, I've done this on the four-faced angel code in a little bit more detail. All I'm doing now really is adding this extra on to fit these new coordinates that I've been given, and so you can see. Okay. Right, as you can see, no coincidence, or it would have to be some miraculous coincidence that all this fits exactly on a map as well, to tell you that there's a lot, you know, just to recap. We haven't even got to Ezekiel's wheels yet. As I secret on, Leinster insert Moel, well, I'll make sense of that now. Welsh bull, there's the L, because Taurus is the Welsh bull, being yourself, who's Welsh, and I'm the Marco Manoi, and incidentally, this is also a code in itself as well, because this says you at Roos. So where is Roos? There it is, it's G Roos. That's where the Roos is. So you at Roos, Taurus L, tribe of yourself, Yeoman G, Marco Manoi. That's the very lost tribe of Joseph that were exiled, in fact, from Britain, not from the Middle East or wherever else. They're actually a British tribe, and they've been literally buried in history. Okay, now next I will be going on to Moel, Moel. Okay, folks, back to, right, okay. Now we need to go and work out the code in the four-faced angel of Ezekiel's wheels. Well, firstly, Ezekiel's wheels is uncoded as Ezekiel's wheels. Okay, now what's bizarre about this is it comes up with a place called Man Moel. And I'll show you how you get to Man Moel now and how you decode this, and me as the four different faces of the angel as well. You'll have to go back to the original coding, because I'm just going to show the Marco Manoi, which is the ox and the bull, because there is an ox switch. But I'll show you that now. Okay, so firstly, you've got Ezekiel's wheels. Well, this is also written in Towchester, which is, Towcester, not Towchester. Is it Chester? Well, it's either Secret H, Toe Secret H, or Toe Secret. It's one of the two. But I think it's Towcester, isn't it? Bear with me. You know when you wish you'd written something down? Yeah. Let's just do it. I'm sure it's Towcester actually, but let's make sure it's right. It works whichever way it works, but Towcester, yeah, it's Towcester, so it's just Tow Secret. So get rid of that one. Sorry, my apology. So Towcester is a secret, an anagram of Tow Secret. I've also got another spear, which I'm not going to have time to do, that comes in from a different angle because the spears, tools, I'm finding all sorts on this map. It's insane. And what I've realised, all these clues I've got and these place names, and there's hundreds of them I've decoded, and you can literally start now. What's happening? You start to link them up, and they're giving you answers to questions, and they sort of build, and then they build pictures. It's incredible, as this one has done. Again, it's not a spear though. This one represents a coffin because they buried this is buried secret basically, and I just dug it up and resurrected the Marco Manoi, or the tribe of the Marco Manoi, being the tribe that lost, a very lost tribe of Joseph that nobody can find. Okay, so Man Moyle, right? How do we get to that from Four-Faced Angel? Right, I'm gonna have to lose this. Right, there are four faces of an angel, and this four-faced angel is, right, I'm just going to put the first initial as you'll see, but basically you've got an eagle, you've got an ox, you've got a man, and you've got a lion. Okay, now basically I can, without doubt, well, I can apply these to, well, just check the four-faced angel code. But what you've got basically is to identify a man. And then all you do is you go M-O-E-L. So whatever Ezekiel's wheels, whether this is the place where he saw it or whatever, or his vision, I don't know. But this is the code in Ezekiel, the four-faced angel, the man, the ox, the eagle, and the lion. But the ox can also be a bull because there's a switch. Where is this switch? Well, this switch is written in the map, unbelievably, and I will show you where it is now. And all it does, even if you move it this size, right, I just realised something unbelievable. Right. Well. Right. If I switch this round, well, I'll be blowed. And I'll show you how it switches now. Now it says be Mel, which I am. Be Mel. Be the Mel H. That's insane. Right, okay. Anyway, there's one live. That's nuts. I was going to, well, the other thing is it's B, well, even if you do it as a man, and then it would be Man Moyle, but it also says be Mel. That's Mark, because my name would be Marco. In real Welsh would be Marco App, and this is encoded in the G Roost constellation code in South America with a big picture of a crane. Marco App Melvin, and this is where the Melin H, the Fort Melin H of the key comes from. But anyway, without confusing it too much, there we go. Right. Anyway, okay. So where is the obviously everything has to have a code in the matrix to be able to do it. So now what we need to do is switch the bull and the ox to be able to do it. I'll find another new code. But right, okay. In North Wales, right by the Holy Head, there is a place called Bull Bay. And this is be a bull. Okay, so that's your bull. What you do is you follow a line right down to the bottom, and there's a place called Amlwch. Wow. Right, okay. L switch. Oh, surely it should be switch. The one that's saying is right. There's some code in that, but anyway, it's L switch, and it's right by there basically. And there's also a place called Moel free. Okay, so free, well, I can use the one fix of the Phoenix and put the E on there as well. There's a Phoenix code that allows you to fix on E. Okay, so Moel free Moel. Right, so you go from Bull Bay, which is on the Holy Head, and you follow it all the way through, and you go through Oxwich. Not the bay, Oxwich itself. Right, what's amazing about this, so be a bull, switch, you can switch with the ox switch, okay? So it's allowing you to use the ox or the bull, and you get codes either way anyway, but there we go. Following it down, this comes to, and it just moves that up. Obviously, there's a big stretch down here. This is North Wales, this is South Wales near Swansea. But the exact place it hits is Ilfracombe. And in the code of this, it says about you put it. I don't know. I can't remember the exact wording, but it's about putting the life into the 4 living creatures. Well, Ilfracombe is Marco be life. Be life. Yeah, Marco be life. And so Marco be life because he puts the life into the 4 living creatures by switching the ox, giving the bull, and bringing the Marco Mano, I guess, up from history and out of the ground, and giving life then, and then it ignites the other creatures. And incidentally, just interestingly enough as well, I knew there was a reason I had to do this. St. Elmo's fire. Moel is also Elmo. Well, St. Elmo's fire is lightning. Plasma lightning, to be exact. Well, plasma is a psalm, and a psalm is El's map. And this is what's right. Without getting too deep into it, basically, it's lightning strikes from the 4 living creatures or something. So there's what the connection with that is. It's to do with St. Elmo's fire, Elmo lightning, which is plasma, which is a psalm, which is El's map. You just lose the A, and you've got obviously his A psalm. When you take A psalms, psalm is El's map, which is El Angel's map. Oh, map angels. Map angels. Well, I just did. So, right, okay. So now we switch the life and we put the life into the 4 living creatures. And just another one for synchronicity as well that I got about a month or 2 ago, but obviously it wasn't the right time to put it out. But I got to do it now, or the synchronicity won't work. But just to make you laugh, and you can believe this or not, but my oldest daughter goes to St. Joseph's. My youngest daughter goes to St. David's. Both these are schools, unfortunately Catholic, not my choice. Amazing, when one is a divine ID for Caradoc, and the other is, and Joseph is obviously the tribe. Well, my oldest daughter is 13, and my youngest daughter is 9 at this point. That's why I've got to do this now, because this thing's birthday is just coming up. Well, the 13th tribe, lost tribe, is Joseph, and the 9th tribe is David, or the divine ID Caradoc's tribe. The 9th tribe is the Siluri, which is obviously the Siluris, me and Sion. 13 is Joseph, 9 is the tribe of David, so David Siluri. So they both, even that sinks in to the time frame of getting it, just to show you a bit of, I don't know what you call it, synchronicity. But there we go. Right, anyway, glad I got that one out the way. Right, bear with me 2 seconds, folks. I'm probably going to have to start doing something else now, a new code. So I'm just going to pause in a second, so you will get a quick blackout. Just to show you quickly as well, guys and girls, this is the these are the exact coordinates, and as you can see, the cross going down the middle. These four, all the places I've given you are on those pinpoints, and the centre one being Booth Wells. It's a Welsh bull, and then you've got the Leinster. You've effectively got, if I can do this, I'm going to struggle, but you can see how this works. It's literally they literally line up, pinpoint, and they make this shape. As like I say, there's a little story within it, but that's the actual map location. The next one I'm going to do, and this one's right now. When you see this, don't panic, because it's a bad sign, but it's also to some degree a good sign. Now, if you're probably aware, I did a picture of a big scythe on America. Well, I've been given another one with some fantastic codes, but the base of it is in Rome, just so you know. But obviously it is a message of the times, and well, I'll explain it now, but just to show you this. Okay, so what we've got effectively is another scythe, which is more, I don't know if you can see this, but it's got more of a, it's more of a, I don't know whether it's a scythe, it's certainly for cutting corn, but it's certainly to do with the harvest. You've got the blade part there, it's sort of like staggered blade, but all these coordinates are just, well, you'll see now when I do it. And just so you know, if I'm not mistaken, is that one? No, there's even, I don't know, I don't think you can see this, guys, but there's, I never thought it'd be so difficult to try to get this onto a map holding it, but yeah, I can't show you. But there's even job is one of the coordinates, and Booth Wells is one down. Oh, it's down lower somewhere. Ledbury. What's on wine? Worcester. It must be on this line, is it? Oh, Booth Wells. It's certainly within in this map anyway. But all these places are all sort of coordinated in. But there we go. All Cester, all secret. Just so you can see, there's codes all over it. Right, I'm just going to pause you again, guys and girls, so I can get all this together and I can start explaining this to you. Okay, folks, onto the sort of British, well, Roman scythe or cutting tool. I think it's a scythe, and it's really getting the corn into the barn. That's what it is. And note the word barn as well is an anagram of Bran. Well, Bran was the king of Siluria, and he was the king on or Caradoc, the divine ID, or David's dad. Or father. His name was Bran, which happens to be a barn as well. So maybe you know, and that's the key fort and the key to the safe zone. So just so you know, there is a safe zone. If you're watching this for the first time, go back over it. And obviously all that's revealed in the constellation Cancer, which is my star sign as well. But there we go. Right, okay, so right, going down, right, firstly, all this is on one side. And this is the, oh, well, I say that, some of it, right, down to there, is the one side of the pole of the sickle, or whatever, not sickle, the thing, whatever it is. Right, Bethlehem is split as well, right, and I'll explain this as we go, but what we're doing is we're basically going down, and this is what we've got so far, is down to there. But, right, these points, right, read my is here, I think, at the top. So it's Mehdi is read my. Then when you follow a line and you put the line from, this is where it gets weird, because you put the line from read my, it goes through Bethlehem on one side, follows down and hits a place called Marco Simone, which is Simeon, Leon, Sion, the 9th tribe. This makes up this point on the bottom of the handle. And this side there is the Vatican. Unbelievable. So what we've got is a set of pairs, basically, written in Paris, which both sides, sort of Paris is sort of in this, right in the centre, where these two lines of this handle comes down. Oh, I'm awful at drawing. Right, so if we follow this side, we go from Lyra is at, then it says Manadillo, then you go, there's a place called Manadillo just off, it's all in the same sort of handle, and that says, oh, Roman lied. Okay, so the Roman lied, well, we know who the Roman is, he's at the Vatican. So right, read my, so what he's saying is read my, and it's read my, and I've got to jump around a bit here, Bethlehem. Because what happens is this line goes also through the word Bethlehem, one on one side and one on the other, because it's split. Right, there's his Bethlehem and their story, their New Testament story of all, well, you know, all that comes from Bethlehem. When in reality, it pairs, because what it really is they've made it, they've paired it and made their own version. So the real version is B the Mel H. Now, worth noting as well, the scythe hits Mablethorpe. Though this thing it hits Mablethorpe, which is the point of everything, which is be the wrote Beat Mel H, and it's also the Pleiades Please ID, or it represents the Pleiades and the message in it that gives you the answer to. I know this is confusing, guys and girls, but it's difficult to explain it. Okay, so anyway, we've got read by Lyra, is that? Right, yeah, I've got one here. Right, it's on the second line. Right, interestingly enough, a place I used to live, funny enough. What we got there? That's Frome. So Frome is, on the one side, it's for, this message is for Rome. On the other side, it's for me. The message for me. That's the word Frome, or Froome, or whatever they call it. They call it Froome, but it's clearly, well, it's got the word Rome in it. It's for Rome, or in code, it's for Rome or for me. But that leads off into other code as well. Okay, so what we got as well, number 8, which is on this side, is a place called Cross Keys that I in fact used to live at. In fact, let's put that one in, because, right, as you know, the Vatican has a set of cross keys. So there is a connection to the Vatican with those cross keys in Wales. What it is exactly, I don't 100% know yet, although I got a good idea. But I'll come to that again. But worth noteworthy that on this side, and it connects across. Oh man, it's so difficult to put all this in one thing. But as you can see, right, Manadilo, Bethlehem or be the MLH, for Rome or for me, Paris is pairs, and then you've got the Vatican on one side, and Marco, Simone, or me and Sion and Night Tribe, and all the keys, well, and you've got the cross keys, because there's lots of keys as well. Right. Okay, I'm just going to pause it there. I hope that makes sense, because it's a little bit messy, but it says, read my, Lyra is at, Roman Lied, Bethlehem, for Rome, pairs, Vatican, Marco, and then obviously the pairs of Marco, Simone, and what have you. Right, I'll be back now, guys and girls, bear with me. Okay, next lot of locations that make this up. Right, okay, it's difficult to put these into where they are exactly on this thing, but bear in mind, what it's doing is letting you know that all this connects, and like I say, it's beyond the possibilities to make a picture as well. And I know the picture, once I see the handle, I know that, you know, I know this is, well, I don't know how I know it, it just guides me, and it just turns into a giant scythe or whatever, or a pickaxe I've got, and some, all sorts. But anyway, the codes in these places that allow you to make this up go as follows. So we've done the cross keys as well, interesting. Just before was number 8, to do with the cross keys of the Vatican. And then number 9 is Kenny's Commander, Marco Mendy keys. Well, there are lots of keys in, the keys in Florida, the Florida keys that got the fit on the temple in Caerwent, which make up the lock. Then you've got the keys, obviously, is the key fort at Llanmelin. You've got the key in the Mel H. The Mel H is the Ropiat Mel H, which ties to the Pleiades, which is the Please ID message that I did, which says, made up of all the stars in the Pleiades, it says, Plei-1, all CE1 on Atlas. That was me as Mr. Guy on the Atlas, Gymri. I am Archilect. He set me a rope, get rope at. And then when you get, that's the star constellation that makes up the Please ID. Obviously, this is getting the ID everything, really. But this message, and then obviously the place that this bow and arrow as well miraculously fits at using another code. It's Mablethorpe, not for the first time either. We've hit it a few times with different codes. Mablethorpe actually says rope B at Mel H. So he's telling you, he set me a rope, get rope at, and then the answer is actually on the place on the ground where you set the Pleiades as a star on the land. Incredible stuff. Okay, so, right, Marco Mendy keys, again, this goes off in so many different directions, but as you can see, it all links together miraculously. Park Seymour, this is about 6-7 miles up the road from me. Yep, Marco Bruce. That was the confirmation that I got the Rusillum right. Obviously, nobody knows it other than the people that have obviously seen this code, that it is actually Rusillum, because his name is Silu Rum, or Venta Silu Rum. But Silu Rum is an anagram of Rusillum. Then you have the crane, obviously G Rus the crane, and you just overlap the two words, G Rus and Rusillum, and you get the G Rusillum, confirmed by a crane in South America, drawn on the map with a ton of identifications for me and the fort. So there's no way on earth this is a coincidence, as you can tell. Okay, so we've got the temple at Caerwent, There's the G-roots and the lock. This is also the womb of the matrix, I've realised as well. He talks about the matrix and the womb, but I'll explain that on another video, I think, because it's going to get too complex. Okay, another point on this map, temple grafton, or graft on the temple. So it's graft on, it's to splice it, join together, the key, the lock, me, everything, basically just centres where the lock and key are at the fort with the Solomon's safe code, everything. Okay, Leicester, this is a split one. You've got the lie secret and the secret lie. So there's the lies, this is saying a secret, you know, the lie is a secret, as in there's a secret lie in among all of it, and the other is the lie secret and secret lie, whichever way around. My head's frying at the minute. Again, and then you've got Mablethorpe. So I'm just going to pause you again a second, just so I can finish off these last few coordinates. And like I say, these are not in order because it's so impossible to show, but I will, anybody who wants to see these photos a bit closer, if you friend request me on Facebook, I actually post up all this and some obviously verbal stuff as well. But unfortunately, Facebook kicked me off and deleted everything I ever did, so I had to go back on with my name backwards, basically in code. So if you friend request Okram Yug on Facebook, and then you'll have access as well to see these maps a little better, you know, be able to see these pictures, obviously without me wobbling around on there. So there we go. So if, yeah, I'll leave that one there. Right. Just pause you again, guys and girls. Okay, just finally, there's sort of some side notes on this that are part of the picture, but it's more like a tag on the side and a title above it. Right, so just going on to the actual top line, you've got Even Job B, Even Job B, that's actually the name of a place, incredible. And this is on the top line, and that says Even Job B. There's a place just above it, I know it's called Discoid, which is ID's code. There's another place called Coedy Van or something, or your van is code or something along those lines as well. Then you've got Booth Wells, It Welsh Bull, as I just explained, that one without the L, but you've seen the code for the L. And another final place, and these are the place you get all these lines from lining up certain words that give you like Lyre is at the through Bethlehem and then down to the Vatican, etc. Okay, so then we got clans drawn, or Clansadron, I don't even know how you pronounce that, but that says clans drawn. And this is the tent map of the Meeny Teckle Up Farsin. And just above it, when you line it up, you get Pum Saint, and that says Unmaps It. So in Unmaps It, clans drawn, and that place, if I'm not mistaken, hits Palma, Mallorca, which is Marco led all the map, I think, or something along them lines, along with Pick a Fort, and that ties obviously with Meeny Teckle Up Farsin, the never uncoded words of Daniel in the Bible, and obviously that says on map 10, seek Melin here, and this comes back to the key fort at Llanmelin. So you can see how all this connects, and there's no doubt this is a matrix on an atlas, which is an ALAST message written as a matrix, overlaid matrix onto places with pictures and everything. The last point, just under Read My, you've got like a little tag thing, and this is where it gets incredible, because you've got Read My, and then you've got the place called Seven Sisters, Melin Court. I can't remember what the Melin Court means. Melin Court is a code for magistrates, which says ties and star G, or G star, whichever. G star, I'm assuming, is G root, or just me being the star, I guess. Well, I am, well, being the what's it called? The octagram. Marco G at. I'm G star, that's what that does. Ties the octagram in as well. So it's a magistrate's court. Yeah, the place is called Melin Court. It's code. When you line it up with Resolven, you draw a line straight across the country, and again, the place it lands is Mablethorpe, and it tells you that Mel H into rope. So as you can see, there is no way on this earth that this can all be coincidence. It's too accurate, well, it's just amazing. And all I can say is, I think as well, this is this magistrate. Yeah, I'm getting it. Right, okay. The magistrate's thing of the Melin Court bottom line is, guys and girls, every one of us have been found guilty. We've all messed up and sinned, but you have got a time to put this right. This is the time of making appeal, hold on. This is the time to make your appeal to Yah. Put your hands up, palms up, stand in a letter Y, head down, just generally be sorry for all you've done. I mean, we all messed up. I had to go through it. I can tell you, well, I don't want to go into detail on my personal thing, but and he's merciful. He was merciful with me because I've done things in my life that you should just not do. Nothing, I haven't killed anyone or anything like that, but I've certainly, I lived in, well, you can get as close to the underworld as you can get, because I've done doors for, I don't know how long, but I've seen the worst and the worst of it, and I've never done anything like killing anyone, and I didn't bully anyone, but I've made mistakes along the way, and I had to come clean and get right, and this is what all this is about. And I gave up everything to get this message out there, basically, and as you can see, it's paying dividends, and I do not regret it. It's hard because of my children, but I still see them, and I know where this is going, and I did it for them as well. That's what, I did this initially, for them, my family at the time, but, well, it didn't work out, but, long story, but I ended up getting in a caravan, and that's where my journey started. Really took off, although it began in a place called Began on the map, but that's another code I can show you again. But it really started to kick off. Well, I had to go downhill before it went up, let's put it that way. But I do know, even for what I've done in life, I don't know exactly when he says they'd be in the congregation. I guess this is some sort of, I don't know, but either way, you've got an opportunity to put your appeal in. That's what it amounts to. I have no doubt we're in a prejudgment, or we've been found guilty, and now it's just awaiting a sentence. And then, obviously, if you want to get right with him now, as at some point he says he will withdraw his hand and the rope, the rope that I'm putting out there, I guess, to pull you out of it. But obviously, I've got to prove that. Well, I would hope by now there cannot be any doubt, because there's no doubt in my mind. Well, I know he's real, Yah's real, and and all this is happening at this point in time for a reason. Anyway, I'm going to shoot, guys, before I can't upload this because it's too big. Get your hands up, stand in the letter Y, palms up, sins on it, and blessings to you all.